The name's Margot. I'm a private detective working out of a cramped office above the jazz club on Whisker Street. 20 years on the force before I went private, and in that time, I thought I'd seen it all. I was wrong. It was a Thursday night when the rain started. The kind of rain that makes you want to curl up somewhere warm and forget the world exists, but the world had other plans for me. The door creaked open, and in waddled Wesley Pemberton, a penguin in a tuxedo, soaked to the bone and shaking.
You must help me, I'm ruined.
His eyes were desperate, the kind of desperate that tells you someone's life is on the line. Miss Margot, he stammered, my wife Cecilia has disappeared. I gestured to the chair and listened to his story. Cecilia was first violin in the Metropolitan Orchestra. 3 nights ago, she left for evening rehearsal and never came home. The police brushed him off with jokes about migration patterns. But Wesley knew better. So did I. He told me that Cecilia had been agitated that last day. She kept muttering about finally having proof. Proof against Maestro Blackbeak, the crow who ran the orchestra. Blackbeak was connected to every shady dealing in the arts district, but no one could ever pin anything on him. Cecilia planned to confront him after rehearsal. She never got the chance. I took the case, standard rate plus expenses. Wesley left me with a photograph of Cecilia and a desperate hope in his eyes. The Metropolitan Concert Hall loomed like a Gothic cathedral against the stormy sky. Rain hammered the cobblestones as I approached. This was Blackbeak's kingdom, and I was about to walk right into it. Lockpicking is easier when you have retractable claws. I slipped through the stage door and made my way down the darkened corridors. Red velvet curtains hung like shadows, and the sound of the orchestra echoed through the halls. There he was, Maestro Blackbeak, standing on the podium, like a tyrant on a throne. His baton sliced through the air with violent precision. Every musician flinched at his commands. This was a crow who demanded absolute control. I waited until the rehearsal ended, then started searching. Cecilia had been smart. She'd left clues. I found her violin case backstage, empty except for a torn piece of sheet music. Hidden in the notes were coordinates, numbers that didn't belong in a symphony. They led me to a heavy curtain at the back of the stage. Behind it, a door. Behind that door, a staircase descending into darkness. The basement was cold and damp. A single light bulb swung from the ceiling, casting dancing shadows on stone walls. And there, in the corner, was a bird cage. Inside was Cecilia Pemberton, alive but terrified. "Detective," she gasped. "He kept me here. I discovered what he's been doing. Embezzling from the orchestra, smuggling stolen instruments. I have evidence, and he couldn't let me talk." I was about to pick the lock when I heard the wings. Blackbeak swooped down from the staircase, landing between me and the exit. His wings spread wide, casting a monstrous shadow on the wall. "You shouldn't have come here, detective," he snarled. "Now you'll both disappear, just like the others who got too curious." He dove at me with talons extended, but I was faster. I leaped sideways, my claws catching the stage rigging. Blackbeak crashed into a stack of music stands, sending them cascading like dominoes. Sheet music exploded into the air like a paper storm. He came at me again, screeching fury. I dodged, weaved, and used every trick I'd learned in 2 decades on the streets. A backflip over a cello case. A swipe that sent a trombone sliding into his path. The fight was chaos, but chaos was my specialty. With one final move, I knocked over a heavy spotlight stand. It crashed down, pinning Blackbeak's wing to the floor. He squawked in rage, but he wasn't going anywhere. I picked Cecilia's cage lock in seconds. The door swung open, and she tumbled out into her husband's flippers. Wesley had followed me to the concert hall. Unable to stay away, The two penguins embraced, tears streaming down their beaks. "Thank you," Wesley sobbed. "Thank you so much." I called the police. 2 German shepherd officers arrived and cuffed Blackbeak. He glared at me with pure venom as they led him away. But I just smiled. Another criminal off the streets. Another family made whole. The rain was still falling when I left the concert hall. Red and blue lights painted the wet pavement as the police car drove away. Back in my office, I sat at my desk and picked up the morning paper. The headline read, "Maestro arrested. Detective Cat cracks orchestra embezzlement ring." I set it down and poured myself a small cup of milk. Steam rose from the cup as I lifted it to my lips. Pinky claw extended just so. Outside my window, the rain continued its endless drumming. Just another rainy night on Whisker Street. Another case closed. Another reminder that in this city, the truth always has a way of coming out. Sometimes it just needs a little help from someone with sharp claws and sharper instincts. I'm Margot, private detective, and I'll be here when you need me. The lamp flickered once, then held steady. I took another sip of milk and smiled. Case closed.